So Team Keep It Clean, welcome to another episode of the Team Keep It Clean podcast. We are on episode, I want to say 27 or 28. I forget, but it don't even matter. It's not important. Appreciate everybody that's listening. Appreciate everybody that's, whether you listen to through Spotify, YouTube, Google, Apple, whatever podcast station you're listening to it on. Thank you. Make sure you give it a good rating too, because that helps out a lot. Just helps us reach more people. So I appreciate it. Real quick, shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Manscaped. If we Team Keep It Clean. If you want to keep it extra clean, then you can use code KeepItClean at manscaped.com. And you can get not only 20% off, but free shipping too. So they'll take care of you. Again, that's code KeepItClean. So when you're getting ready to check out and they ask you, hey, you got a promo code or something so you can get some money off? You just type in Keep It Clean. All together, no spaces. So I appreciate y'all. Shout out to those of y'all that have ordered with that Manscaped code already. And those of you that will use it in the future to take some money off of that total price. So anyway, on today's episode, got a special guest. Met him, wow. How long have we known it? Well, you know what? Let me introduce you first, and you probably got a better memory than me. Got my guy Julian, a.k.a. Jay the Kid. He's on YouTube. He's on Twitter. I'll let him introduce all his stuff to you. What's going on, Julian?
What's going on, everybody? First, want to just thank Ingraven for having me on here, man. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Man, yeah, when we met, man, it goes way back to like 2015 probably. Oof. 15, 16.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, been following for years, back on the old channel, the new channel, the podcast. So, we just staying consistent, man. He follows me, supports me, I follow him, support him, man. That's
already, man. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. And that I think, because you had reminded me of this a couple months ago. Because I had forgot where we met, and he said it was through that group. We're not going to name any names or anything, but it was through a group on NBA 2K where they were putting together, I guess, they were going through different like YouTube channels and stuff and picking people who they wanted to be in their group, and they picked both of us. Now, I know for me, it's crazy like thinking about it now, like looking back at it, because when they first put me in the group, I was like, wow, this is really cool. This is crazy. Like, people picked me to be in their 2K group, and they saw my 2K videos, and they liked it. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I was honored, and I was like, whoa, this is like, it really felt special. But then I looked at some of the videos that they had made, and how they carried themselves and conducted themselves, and I was just like, nah, it's not a good fit for me. And it was one of those things where they were like, yeah, you change your gamer tag to represent our group, because my gamer tag has always been Ingraven. It's always been that, still is that. And they were like, change it to blah 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 then Ingraven. And I was like, but really the conduct of the group, it was just like, nah, I don't want to be affiliated with this. So the craziest part about the whole thing is when I look back and I think about when I was gonna leave the group, I was like nervous. I was nervous about leaving the group because I was like, man, what if they like talk bad about me or something? What if they like talk bad about my channel or something like that? I was like worried about that stuff back then. That's why I say it's almost like funny looking back at it now, like, because I can't believe I was like that worried about it.
Yep.
But so I end up sending them. How did I send them a message? I forgot how I sent them a message. But I was like, well, thank you for letting me into the group, but But I'm had to get out the group, remove myself, blah 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 blah, and wasn't no problem, wasn't no beef or nothing. And that was that. They were like, okay, cool, no problem. Moved on. And, man, sometimes, I haven't done it in a while, but sometimes I do check on them, see how they doing. I think one of them is, like, rapping now or something. I don't think he made it big or anything, but he's still rapping or whatever. And the other ones, I don't even know what's going on with the rest of them, but hopefully they all doing well. How did your relationship end with them, or did it? Or?
Ooh. Well, yeah. I'll start by just saying, I mean, first things first, I wasn't all the way right myself in the beginning. Cause
Yeah.
like, not in the case of like character-wise, I've always been the same person. But like, you know, when doing YouTube back then, it was all about like getting big, right? So it was like finding those like special things you could do to get big. And for me, I found like, oh shoot, I'm gonna just throw all these tags in the description, and I'm be straight. So I feel that to say, basically, when we were in the group, things kind of went sour. It was, you know, I felt the same when you did. I was like excited. I was like, oh, people saw my 2K content. They want me to join this group. So, you know, instead of going the route you went, I actually joined and was like in it heavy, and like I was, you know, like pushing out content with them constantly. Yeah. And then it got to the point, man, where like, you know, they were kind of, it felt like I was being used and stuff. So I was just like, all right, you know what? I was talking to one of the other members because, like, you know, they were trying to control, like you said, change your gamer tag, control what you post.
Right.
Like,
that's the worst part.
Yeah, I can't do that. So, like, after that, I ended up talking to one of the other members, and I was just like, you know what, we out. And then from there, basically, I can't confirm it was them, but I have a very strong feeling they reported some of my videos that had the tags in there, and a lot of those videos got taken down, and I was just like, dang, man. It's just the coincidence of it happening right after that whole fallout. I was like, nah.
Yeah, that timing, man. It probably was them, but well, and I don't want to start the video on such a sour negative note or anything like that, but it was just a little reflection on how we ended up meeting. So let everybody know what you do now, where they can find you at, and what you're bringing to the table on YouTube, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now, I've kind of stepped back from the gaming universe a little bit. I was a big, heavy gamer. My main channel is Jada Kid. I'll probably be back on it one day soon, just not right now. Right now, I'm really focused on my couple reaction channel. We are doing reactions over there. We're doing like vlogs, different challenges. The channel name is Alyssa and Julian. And honestly, it's been so much fun, man. Like, I didn't expect to enjoy watching YouTube so much, but I enjoy watching YouTube, getting recommendations, people laughing at my reactions to things, and, you know, just having that interaction with people about videos that I would just watch, you know, any other time by myself, or, you know, just be chilling on the couch watching. But now I got that, you know, not in person, but you know what I mean, that interaction between people about something that I wouldn't have other than that, you know?
Yeah. And the thing about that too, with reaction videos, people are always looking for them, cause it's a way, especially now, like everybody up in the house and whatever. It's a way, like you said, to connect with people, because a lot of people, unfortunately, they're alone or they are lonely, and they may watch a video or something, and they might be like, oh, you know what? I wonder how somebody else felt about this same video when they watched it. I wonder what their reaction was when they watched it, and boom, there you go, reaction channel. So what's been your favorite thing on YouTube? Like, what's been the thing that you have enjoyed the most from it?
Man, this is gonna be such a curveball. It's way out in left field, but it has nothing to do with any of the content I made, honestly. I don't know if you remember this, but I used to live stream daily. Like, I was I did 262 days straight live.
Yep, that's crazy.
In that process, man, like, I got to talk to so many kids while they were in school, and give them so much high school advice and different advice in life, and getting those messages back later on about how this situation helped them, or they were afraid to talk to that girl, and I gave them the confidence they needed. You know what I mean? Just little things like that, man. Make all the difference.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. When you when you have a positive, not just an impact on somebody, but a positive impact on somebody. Cause that you never know. It could be something small too, something that you think is super insignificant or super small or whatever, and it could change somebody's life. You never know, man. You never know.
I like how you say at the end of most of your podcast, man, you're like, check up on people because it makes a big difference, bro. Because, like, honestly, in that process, a lot of those kids didn't have people checking up on them, and it made all the difference for them to come into the stream and hang out and talk.
Mm-hmm.
And, have somebody that understands them and wants, will actually listen to what's going on in their lives.
Yeah.
So if you could be that for somebody, man, be that for somebody as much as possible.
Yeah, because you never know who's on the opposite end, man. Who's on the opposite end of that little YouTube avatar? Who's on the opposite end of that comment? You never know, because they could be going through something. It could be all type of things, man. But that's why you gotta just be good to people. And another thing, you guys to block and move on too, man. Because people, boy, they will try it, man. They will say any and everything. I know you done had some experiences like that recently, but they will do and say anything. I see y'all creeping up on the 1K. Y'all gonna do anything special when y'all hit 1,000 subscribers? Cause this looking like, cause I be looking like every day, and I see when y'all post videos and stuff, and I see okay, they a little closer. So today is we're recording this on Thursday evening. I think y'all probably be at 1,000 subscribers by Tuesday at the latest.
I'm hoping, man. Honestly, I'm getting so excited, bro, because, to get into the YouTube partner program now, you had to have...
Oh, yeah, they changed all that.
It's crazy. It's so different from, like, back, when we first started, bro. So, like, trying to adjust to how everything works with the new algorithm and how all that stuff works is crazy. But to answer your question, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm thinking I want to do, like, a live stream reaction session.
Yeah.
Personally, that's what I think would be fun. But, it all comes down to our schedules, if, what works out for what times, what days. I mean, because, like, we both work, like, I work 50 hours a week. She works, like, 40 to 45 hours. So it's always hard to, like, really find that time that, like, we both could get on and sit down. And after a long day of work, we don't want to sit down and, like, sit in front of lights and cameras all the time. So we batch record a lot.
Okay, so I guess you kind of answered this question already. Then I was gonna ask you, what is the schedule like then? Like,
my gosh, you just see it. It's crazy, man.
Cause I saw in a recent video that y'all did about how she's really the organized one when it comes to that. She writes all the ideas and stuff on the board and whatnot. I think it was a Q&A video. Oh, a get to know us video.
Yep.
Yeah. So
she does that, bro. She has a notebook where she literally writes out, like, we had our reactions planned for the rest of the month on Tuesday. Like, and like I'm not talking like one video. She had like 3 videos a day written down for the next week to 2 weeks. It's crazy, bro. I could never, like, I'm over here on my channel. That's the reason why I haven't uploaded on mine, is because, like, I can't plan out a solid schedule on mine. Because, we have this one here. We have a solid schedule. She's like, listen, we're recording this night, so we can upload that night. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get on that level, you know what I mean?
And that's big, too, because one thing that I've seen with y'all, with the reaction channel, is probably one of the biggest things with YouTube, and one of the biggest ways to grow is consistency. Because y'all upload, like, I think, like, every single day, man. I see, like, and it's multiple videos every single day. So with that, because I know I've been doing the daily uploads for a little while too, and a question that I have for you, especially now with y'all like really going hard with these uploads, how do you deal with burnout?
Honestly, for me, it's hard because I love doing this. You know me, man. Like, this is my passion, bro. I'll sit there and do it all day. So it's more of a case of, dealing with her burnout and, like, really adjusting to that, because I had to understand that I'm not doing it by myself anymore. And at first, that was hard for me, because I was ready every single day to come sit down, record a video. And that's why she put me on this schedule, because she's like, look, I don't want to record every single day.
Right.
Like, I'm not about to, come home from work and record at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
She's like, no, absolutely not. So now we're on this schedule. And honestly, the schedule helps so much with Burnout because you can't really get burnt out if you already know it's planned like a week ahead. You know what I mean? Like if you know you're gonna have this video done and it's going up on this day, you can't really be burnt out on it. And plus, watching YouTube is something we already love to do. We've been watching YouTube together since we were like, first start dating. So
yeah.
it's like it's our thing. It's always been our thing. So it's actually kind of ironic that it's turning into our actual thing in front of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know with Burnout for me, I just take a break. Cause there will be some times when I'm like, man, I don't feel like it. I don't even be wanting to look at a camera. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
So I just chill, man. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing this today because, with my videos because they are, what's the word? Oh, they're based off of most of my videos are based off of like current events in football. So
yeah.
Things could change every day, any hour. They could change quick. Some breaking news happen, I put out a video quick. But it's a lot of times there's really no planning. The most that I would be able to really plan would be for like, all right, I'm gonna do a live stream on this day with like questions from subscribers or something like that. But it's really not much planning. I mean, there's a little bit, but when I get burnt out, I'm like, nah, I'm good because
vacation time.
yeah, I just take a step back, and then a lot of times too, to try to avoid the burnout, I'll take like a lot of like breaks and stuff, and like a lot of step backs, cause I do like really put a lot into the channel, but it's like, what's the best way to explain it? It's not my life. It's a big part of my life, but it's not my life. But I do really, really, really enjoy it a lot. Because there's a passion turned into a career, job, whatever. But it's fun. But it's still work. It's still a lot of work. So that's why I make sure that, like, and that's with anything you do, whatever you do, with the regular, normal, secular job, with school, with whatever, you gotta take breaks. You gotta take breaks. You gotta take breathers. You gotta take a step back because anything can end up burning you out. Especially if it's something that you really don't enjoy. But even with stuff that you do enjoy, it can burn you out. But so you gotta be careful with it, man.
For sure. That's why I took a break from the gaming channel, actually, man. Is because like I realized, like, I went and bought the Xbox.
Yeah.
You remember, by the way, I appreciate you looking for the Xbox for me.
Oh, no problem.
That was dope. But yeah, I got the Xbox now, man. And honestly, like, the game, first of all, doesn't work well on my Xbox, and it's not really that fun. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just take a step back and really focus on this thing here that I really do enjoy. That's actually, working out for us.
Yeah.
This right here, this is just kind of taking up my time and not really doing nothing for us at this point. And it's really not making me feel fulfilled at all. So I was like, nah, I need to take a little breather from that.
And see, the thing too with that I see with the reaction channel, like I said earlier, it's been a lot of consistency. But I've been seeing the growth too. And what I've seen from experience with YouTube, from my own personal experience, and I've seen it with other people too. If you're growing, like you got to take advantage of that channel growing,
Exactly.
because if it stops, it can stop. And if you, for instance, if you uploading every day, and then out of nowhere you just stop, then the growth, it can change, man. And YouTube, unfortunately, with the recommendations and stuff, and with the algorithms and all that, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. Yeah.
Very unforgiving.
Exactly. They don't care, like, oh man, oh, you were busy this week, oh, you had family emergency come up this week. No, if once you get out of that algorithm and you lose that consistency, whatever your consistency is, because I think with YouTube, I think if you're good if you're consistent. And what I mean by you're good is like with YouTube, they'll take care of you with whatever if you have a pattern, and then that makes a big difference with your subscribers too, because your subscribers, they'll know what to expect. Like if your consistency is once a week on every Thursday, then do that. You'll be straight. YouTube will still be straight, and your subscribers, most of all, they'll know when to expect a video from you. But if your consistency is every Thursday and you put out a video on Monday 1 week, then you take a week and a half off, then put out another video on Thursday, then you take a couple days off, put out a video on the following Tuesday, and it's just fluctuating, and it might end up bad for you. It's not like it ain't nothing that's black and white, and crazy stuff can happen on there. Sometimes you just never know. But the biggest thing, when you got your wave, you gotta ride your wave, man. You gotta ride your wave, man, because you just gotta keep going. You just gotta, even when the wave seems like it's like sort of going down a little bit, you still gotta keep going, man, because it'll pick back up. So which,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you're good.
What I'm saying was, I was telling Alyssa, like, when you get to that point where you're actually gaining traction.
Yep.
It's hard. Like, that's the point where you really need to like kick it up a notch, because that's the point where YouTube is like, okay, wait, people like them. Like, I just checked my impressions this morning.
Yeah.
My impressions on my gaming channel, I'll tell you, was like 100,000, right? I looked at the impressions on the reaction channel. Now, just to put it in perspective for everybody, right? My gaming channel has about 13,000 subscribers. This is just going to show you all that subscribers mean absolutely nothing. I had 13,000 subscribers on my gaming channel, 100,000 impressions.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the reaction channel, looked at the impressions on that channel. That channel had 414,000 impressions over the last 28 days. I was like, wow. So for that's why I said, listen, we're riding a wave right now. We need to kick it up. Put as many videos out a day as we can. We agreed upon 2 to 3. 2 to 3 is our magic number.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get 2 to 3 videos out for, next like month to 2 months,
right,
we'll be looking pretty by the end of the next couple months. Just because you ride, like you said, you ride that wave.
Yeah.
YouTube's on it. Don't let the momentum go to waste.
Right. That's a good word right there, momentum. Cause yeah, that's exactly what it is. Cause yeah, once that momentum drops, man, it is tough to get it back. Cause I remember, and that's why I started the second channel, because I had it's funny because I had actually got laid off from my previous job. Back years ago, got laid off from the job. Got laid off on the day that 2K15 came out. The one where you first start face scanning, and I did a video of my face scan, and it just kept messing up. My face scan kept messing up.
I remember that video.
Yeah, put the video out, it took off, and I was like, whoa, okay. But then I just kept doing 2K videos, and I'm still doing Madden videos, but the channel was like growing like crazy. I'm like, oh man, this is like crazy. But then I started working again. And when I started working again, I couldn't put in the time and the consistency and whatnot that I had been before, and it came to a close quick. And I tried to still be consistent, and I was still a bit consistent, but just not nearly as much as I was before I had started working again. And then I think a little after that, Carter was born. Once Carter was born, being a new parent, that consistency, that's out the window, man. You don't even know the word consistency when you had a kid, man. But then that's when I was like, you know what? And I would try some different things with the channel. I'm like, this just ain't working. So I'm like, you know what? Let's try to run it back. And if I could go back, one thing that I would have done differently, even though I wasn't like fully out I wasn't fully just doing the football stuff. I was mainly doing Madden, but that if I can go back and change one thing, that would be it. From jump to start this channel. Well, not this channel because it's the podcast channel, but to start the Ingravenvids channel, just strictly as a football talk channel. Because I know there are people from the old channel who subscribe for the old channel stuff and who subscribe for like the Madden stuff. So they might not be there for the football talk. I mean, usually they go hand in hand. People that like Madden, they obviously like football, but still. Some people subscribe for a Madden video game and not actual talking about real life football. But other than that, I probably would have started over sooner. But it was one of those things where it was just like, you know what? Let's just go for it, man. Let's just go for it because the channel had died again because of the lack of consistency. It had died, and I was like, man, it sucks. But I was like, whatever, ain't got nothing to lose, so might as well try it. So I don't know, that I think that's a big part of YouTube too, because it's just about trying. That's just life, period. It ain't just YouTube, but it's about putting yourself out there, trying, being a little uncomfortable. Being a little uncomfortable with whatever it is that you're doing, but being willing to take a shot on something new, something different, and
it's
just
funny
going
you
for
say
it.
that, bro. It's funny you say that because honestly, I'll tell you this. I've actually never mentioned this to you before. I don't even think you know this, but honestly, like you're the first person that I met in person that I met through like YouTube stuff online.
Oh, really?
It's all about just putting like you said, putting yourself out there, and like getting to know new people and everything like that, bro. Like honestly, like before meeting, like afterward that I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool, like meeting subscribers and other people, because after that, I went back to playlist and I met more people the next year, but before that, bro, like I never, and I was a little nervous. I ain't even gonna lie.
Cause that was when you went to the playlist Orlando that year, right?
Yeah, that was the first time I went.
Oh yeah, okay.
We met at Disney Springs.
Right.
But before that, I had never met any like YouTube people online.
I'm trying to think if I had. I know I met some, but I can't remember who now. Besides you, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, man, and it is not coming to me. I can't think of it. I got a bad memory anyway, though. I know I met subscribers though for sure. Well, I was like at the flag football game, but actual YouTubers, I can't remember right now. Nah, whatever. It'll come to me later. But yeah, it is definitely different. I mean, this is just what was that? 2019? Oh no, it was 2019.
Yeah, it was 19. 19 was a big year for me. I did a lot of crazy stuff in 19. That's the only reason why I remember.
Is that the Oh no! It was the following year that y'all did that vlog video of after when y'all came to Orlando, when y'all went to the game and stuff. That was 2020, right?
That was 20. Yeah, that was 20. That was right before all the COVID stuff happened, bro.
Man.
It was crazy. That was like right before. Like we literally got back and like 2 weeks later we were in quarantine, or 3 weeks later or something like that. It was wild.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Like, man, like, you come back, you get back in the groove of things, start working again. Next thing everybody's wearing masks on. Like, it was wild.
I remember the last time that I had, or one of the last times I went to Orlando. It was a little bit before everything started with the quarantine and all that, and we were getting ready to get on the train. Me and my wife and Carter, we getting ready to get on the train to where were we going? I think we were going to the parking lot because the park was closing. Cause we were at Disney, and I saw a girl there that she had a mask on. And I was like, oh, and this when all the talk of it first started. It wasn't over here yet, but I saw her with a mask on, and I was like, okay. But now, that's the norm now.
Yep.
And I remember when I first started seeing people, like the first time I went to the grocery store and I walked in there and I saw these people with their mask on. I'm like, what is this? It was so weird, man. I'm like, it looked like something out of a video game, man.
Mhm.
And I was like, whoa, this is like creepy, man.
Bro, it was scary because at the time I worked for a grocery store.
Yeah.
So like everyone like was, piling up on the store. It felt like a apocalypse was happening or something. Like it was crazy. People were piling up, getting all their milk and their water. Like it was wild. I didn't know what was happening. I had because at night we didn't have a lot of cashiers on normally because it was, it was always dead at night. But people heard the news, man, and they piled in the store. We had lines down the aisles. I would walk in the morning. There'd be lines wrapped around the store all the way around the entire front and back of the store. It was crazy. People went crazy.
Yeah, it was wild, man. It was wild. I remember just getting groceries for like a month. Cause we ain't know what was gonna happen. We ain't know what was gonna go down. We didn't know anything, man. And
because at the time they were talking about shutting everything down and making everybody stay home.
Yeah, but it's wild, man. It's wild. This has been it's been a crazy time, man. Crazy time, man. But
we lived through history, bro.
yeah, that's true.
They're gonna write a book about us one day.
It's true. Definitely not the history we want to live through, but hey, it is what it is, man. We are living though, so that's a good thing. Cause the sad part, a lot of people lost their lives during this, the whole lot. So it sucks, man. But how are y'all How do y'all take care of y'all mentals, man? Like your mental health, staying sane, with stuff just not being the same as what it used to be.
Honestly, it's crazy because I relate to you guys so much, man. Because we listen to your podcast about you talking about the drives you guys take. Because we do the same thing. Oh yeah. We just hop in the car and go on drives. We love to ride. We love to drive. So honestly, even before things were closed, we didn't really go in places. We would just go around, drive around, listen to music, play one of our favorite albums or something. And that would just suffice for us. So honestly, it hasn't really been that bad. And it's been essentially the same thing because all we do is work anyway. So life didn't really change much for us, but it just, every now and again it'd be nice to go somewhere and not have to have a mask on. But
hell yeah.
Hopefully it's coming.
Yeah, one day. But yeah, those drives are vibe, man. Just riding around. And we go to all types of places. We go to sometimes we'll drive by from where I had grew up at. Sometimes we'll drive by where sometimes we just go to random places. Sometimes we just drive through these super fancy places, just looking around oh man, what would that be like? Oh, when all these rich people in their rich houses and stuff. What would that be like to live out here? Sometimes we'll drive through the city and be like, oh man, if we live right in the middle of the city, how would that be? And we'll just be riding, and a lot of time we'll find new places that we ain't never been at. We might find a little food spot or whatnot. It's just fun, and it's fun, and it's so simple too. But yeah, like you said, we have been doing that since way before this whole thing started. But it helps because I know my wife, she be talking about it a lot, especially recently. It just helps with having a change of scenery because I know with her job, she works from home because her job, the building that they were at, they not using it yet. Hopefully this can be a permanent thing, but they since they not using it, she's at the house. She's at the house, and she loves working from home, but it wasn't something that she had really been used to before, so it was different. And then just us really just having to be at the house with no having to be here, can't go on no vacation, and that initial lockdown, it was it had to always really want to change the scenery a lot of times, man. And I can understand that because it's man, you so used to going to and from work, and even for anybody that doesn't work, you're just used to going to and from wherever, even if it's not for work. You're just used to that. But with the whole lockdown, that changed. It changed lives, man. It changed the way of life, cause stuff just wasn't the same, and stuff wasn't the same no more. So
it's hard, man. So many seniors and stuff missed out on like sports and
man,
chances to be seen by scouts and stuff. It's sad.
For real, man. Cause and it impacts people in so many different ways. Cause a lot of people, we obviously know about our immediate situation, but there's a lot of people who just they get hit. They get hit on a whole nother level, man. And
Yep.
it's hard, man. So let's see when this thing is over. One day, we're just counting down.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully.
Cause I've been over it. I'm cool. I ain't going crazy or nothing, but I've been over it. Like, okay, all right, I'm ready to go to ready just to go out again. And I had to have a mask. Oh my goodness, those masks, man. Ooh, those masks. Cause
8 hours a day with a mask on, bro. It's like, it's not fun. Not at all.
oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like, I'll be, like, in the middle of interactions with a customer, man. As soon as they walk out, the store is clear, I will pull my mask out so fast, bro. So when I see someone come, like, oh, here we go, mask on.
Oh, you gotta get you gotta get those the thin ones, the thin black or the thin blue ones.
Yeah, I had the thin black one, man, but honestly, like, it's just that I think it's the mental aspect of having something over my mouth, over my face, so it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Sweating.
I feel you, man. This thing is annoying. But yeah, like I said, one day, man. Well, one day. And, man, you know what's crazy was... One of the craziest things to me about this whole thing was I remember when everything first got shut down. It's crazy that it's been over a year now. But everything first got shut down. Well, it's been about a year. And then stuff like slowly started opening back up. But I like go on Instagram or something, or on Twitter, or on Facebook, and I see people at the club. I'm like, what? Hold up.
At the club,
like
no mask on, everybody's all close together. It's crazy.
So I'm thinking, like, what is this? Like, and I'm wondering, like, and I'm definitely ain't never gonna go see for myself, but I'm wondering, like, what do they do do they do a temperature check when they first come in the building, come through the front, or like, what, and how is this happening?
Some places don't, bro. Some places don't care. They, they have the signs up that that the government makes them have up, but other than that, they don't care. Whatever.
That was one of the craziest things with this whole pandemic thing. Cause I'm like, wow, they really? Like, I couldn't believe it, man. But hey, to each his own, man. To each his own.
Off of the pandemic, I got a football question now.
Alright.
So, I'm sure you've seen all the news today. Where do you think Russell Wilson's headed?
Miami.
You think Miami?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when I saw this possible trade destinations, I would love to see him in New Orleans.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Right? That would be awesome. If he got to go to New Orleans, replace Drew Brees, man, they're both 5'11", it would just be like a second coming, bro.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's nice, man. I feel like with New Orleans, though, they already got a lot of cap issues, so they low on funds. Miami, they got the money for it, and they have the draft capital for it. So if the Seahawks do end up trading Russell Wilson, I think they will, because it's one of them things like where it's like where there's smoke, there's fire. Because once these talks start, it's like a lot of times it ain't nowhere to go but downhill. And if if he done started naming teams, like he done started naming teams that he's willing to be traded to, it's like, come on, man. That's the beginning of the end, man. Y'all might as well start saying your goodbyes to Russell Wilson and get ready to be sad, man. 'Cause I know if I was a Seahawks fan, I would be sad about that.
But here's the other question, though. If you're a Dolphins fan, like, do you want him in Miami? I know, like, I didn't pay attention to him towards the end of his the year there, but I know Tua was looking all right in the middle of the year. I know they ended up putting Fitz back in, but
yeah,
are they not high on Tua anymore?
Tua wasn't looking bad, but I'm sure they think about it like, hold up, we almost made the playoffs last year. They were in at one point, but
True.
at the they lost their spot at the end of the year. But I mean, I think what it comes down to, you're like, okay, what's the goal of every football team?
Win a chip.
Win a chip.
That's what you gotta do.
So win a Super Bowl. That's the goal of every football team. So if you think about the right here, right now, even though, of course, yeah, you want to think about the future, the long-term future, what we're going to look like in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, blah, blah, blah. No. You're trying to win right here, right now. Does Tua give you a better chance, or does Russell Wilson? And then, boom. There you go. And, yeah, I think they got like 3 picks in the first round. They got 2 or 3. I think they have 3 because they got one from the Rams, Seahawks, and Jets, or maybe their own in the Seahawks and Jets. I forgot, but they got the 3 picks in the first round, so they got ammo to trade for Russell Wilson. They got salary cap space. They got what they need to make it happen, and I had actually tweeted about it like 2 days ago. That I do like. I know there's been all this Deshaun Watson talk with him going to Miami, but I think that could just be something they doing on the side, and they end up getting Russ. But we'll see.
I know I'd take either one of them in New York, man. Either one. I would take either one.
You give up Danny Dimes for Russell Wilson or Deshaun?
In a heartbeat. Oh, are you kidding? Oh, man. I'd take either one of them.
There you go.
Instant upgrade.
And that's the question that I asked with Tua too. So I think it's the same way. They look at it. You look at the short and long term, but obviously more so the short term. And you got to look at the whole team too now. You got to look at the whole team because you got to think like, okay, if we make this move to get this quarterback, especially if whether we got to give up a lot of draft capital or we got to give up draft pieces and players, does this quarterback put us in a significant position to win a Super Bowl? And if he does, if the answer to that is you can really sit down and look at your roster and be like, okay, well, yeah, if we get this quarterback, yeah, we're a Super Bowl team. We got a much higher chance to get there. If you can look at getting that quarterback and that's the answer, okay, cool. But if getting that quarterback will put you, he made us a little better, but we're not there yet, then it's probably not worth it. So.
See, on the flip side, though, if I'm Seattle, I'm not moving Russell Wilson to Miami without saying, hey, you guys got to give me Tua.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure they would do that. Take him on because what they would have 3 years left on this deal. So, yeah, it couldn't hurt getting Tua. Because, of course, if they traded for Russell Wilson, then, yeah, they could keep Tua. But at the same time, it's like, what's the point? Just let him go try somewhere else. But, I would still think not Russ, but I would still think, what's the name the Seahawks would try to get their own guy. That other than Tua. Not that he's bad or anything like that, because he's young. And he's young, very young. So you never know. But I think they will still try to get their own guy. So like take the draft picks and try to find somebody through the draft. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Or I can see that. That makes sense. Or two, if the Dolphins didn't trade Tua to the Seahawks. Well, say for instance, I mean that would be the most likely scenario. But say for instance, if they didn't trade him to the Seahawks, and they traded him somewhere else, maybe there was another QB needy team that was looking for somebody, and the Dolphins, if they traded for Russell Wilson, then they definitely gonna get rid of Tua. So, it's we gonna see real soon, man. This is what like this. This is not my favorite time of the football year. That's definitely during the season, but it's fun. Like football, like the regular season is fun, love it. But off season, it can get crazy, man.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it can get really crazy, man. I'm with it.
It's tough, man, because honestly, I'm watching like all these people become available and all these, people available for trades, and I'm just looking at my Giants, man, and they're not making any moves, man. Like, they're just sitting back like they got everything they need. You guys did not make the playoffs last year. You guys need to make some moves. You need something else. Mm-hmm. They picked up a center, but I think that's it.
Yeah, and I know with COVID, they the salary cap with the revenue in the NFL, since a lot of places didn't have fans, or they didn't have the normal amount of fans in the stadium. NFL, they lost a bit of money, so that's lowered the salary cap for this year and moving forward. We'll see how it goes next year, but this year is going to lower the salary cap significantly than it was last year. So teams already been starting. Like you just said, a lot of players become available. Teams been cutting guys because they can't afford them, and they getting ready to for that salary cap to be just like I said, a whole lot lower than it was the previous year. So this gonna be a crazy off season, and the craziest part is that it doesn't even start till March. But I mean, you can start kind of making some moves. Some people can start getting released, so like they already have. And you can agree to trades. The trades don't become official till the middle of March, till the new league year starts. So it doesn't happen like hardly ever, but it could happen to where like even with the Rams, I know the Rams, they traded Jared Goff to the Lions for Matt Stafford and some draft picks in there too. Since the trade isn't official yet, they could back out of it. They could be like, oh, you know what? Nah, never mind. We're good. Since it's not official yet.
They back out.
Yeah. That would be tough. But yeah, they could do it. They got the right to do it. It would make them look very bad. And other teams could look at that and be like, oh, I don't want to do business with them. But they could do it. So part of the business. Now, I know with, you familiar with the tampering period, like right before free agency?
Yeah, that's where they get to, like, kind of, sway people and talk to them and, try to get them to sign with them, right?
Right, exactly. Because they need to just get rid of that. But what they do, you can negotiate with teams like 2 days before the official free agency starts. They need to just get rid of this whole thing and just let free agency start. But anyway, you can negotiate with teams like 2 days before free agency starts. You can come up with a deal with them. And that's when a lot of pending free agent players, they come up with a deal with the team, with their new team, but they can't officially sign it yet until free agency officially starts. And just like the trades, nothing is official till that dotted line is signed. Over the past couple of years, I only remember it happening one time, but I do remember when, I think it was Anthony Barr, a linebacker from the Vikings. He was a pending free agent, and he agreed to a deal with the Jets. This was 2 years ago, I want to say. But he agreed to a deal with the Jets. And it was like, okay, Jets done picked up Anthony Barr. All right, cool. But this was during the legal tampering period. So a day went by, another day went by, and the official free agency began, he changed his mind. He said, "Oh no, I'm straight. I don't want to sign it anymore." So they can't do anything because it wasn't official free agency yet. So he ended up re-signing back with the Vikings. And so that's the only time I've seen it happen. But so it doesn't happen often, but it is a possibility that somebody's like, "Oh, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to go there." So hopefully,
Definitely something I see more in the NBA than really in the NFL.
man, NBA, I feel like they have I feel like they have a lot more like power when it comes to getting off of a team.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wonder why. I wonder if it's, I don't know. I wonder if it's because, I don't know. I was gonna say I wonder if it's because we can see their faces. Because
I think it's more with the. It's hard. It's hard to explain. I mean, I think it has more to do with the roster size. You know what I mean? Because you think about it, NFL teams are like 55-man rosters, where like NBA is only like a 12-man roster. So like with the smaller roster size, it's a lot easier to break up the money and trade somebody who's like upset, irate, doesn't want to be there. And plus, they also have social media now, which makes it even more ridiculous. Because once you broadcast, you want to be traded. It's a wrap.
Yeah, that's true. Cause I see these dudes like they be like, "Oh, I want out," and usually within a couple weeks they out. Like they'll be
James
gone.
Harden, man.
Yeah, that was the biggest one of this. What was that like 2 months ago? I'm like, man. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on with just Houston. Period, man. Something's going on over there. Cause I'm like, man, I just feel for them, man. Like with football too, I think with baseball, they're the Astros, and they had the whole cheating thing with the banging on the trash cans, and then with the, of course, the Texans, Deshaun Watson, he don't want to be there. They just cut J.J. Watt, and it's, it's just a mess.
Tell me about the weather.
Oh man, I don't know what is going. They just going through it, man.
Yeah. They're getting it the worst of all, man. Bad 2021.
Jeez.
It's crazy over there.
Yeah, it really is, man.
Matter of fact, and they just released DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh, Boogie?
Yeah, and Boogie's gone too now.
Man, he been hopping around a lot, though, man. Because I remember he used to play for the Kings. I think he used to play. Didn't he play for the Lakers? No, he ain't play for the Lakers.
He did play for the Lakers.
Oh, he did play for the Lakers? Oh, okay. He was hurt the whole time.
He was in the off season, so they cut him mid-year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Who else he played for? I know he been moving, though, man.
Boogie been playing everywhere. Boogie played for the Warriors. He was hurt. Got hurt over there. He can't stay off the injury list, man. Like he got bad knees or something.
See, that's the worst, man. That's the worst for players when you can't even show what you got, man. You just keep getting hurt time and time again. And that's sad, man, because I think that's dangerous for them too, because it could like lead to depression and stuff. Because they like, man, they start feeling like they nothing, and it's just rough, man. Cause you hear too many stories about all that, especially with athletes and stuff. Cause they like almost like quote unquote on top of the world or whatever. Oh man, I got everything going and da 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 da.
Yeah.
And you get hurt, that's it, man. That is it. And then I'm sure it's probably the same way in basketball too. But certainly in NFL, man, if you hurt, once you hurt, you damaged goods. Like, what good are you? That's how teams looking at you. Like, what good are you to us? You can't do anything for us. We can't use you. No, you're pretty much nothing at that point. So, it's unfortunate, man. But yeah, and teams will they'll move on in a heartbeat. And I think like even now with NBA, man, the NBA, like, I remember back when I watched it like heavy, which was a long time ago. All the trades that be going down now, oh man, you would never see anything like that. But now, boy, they trading people in a heartbeat. They moving on in a heartbeat. They making move after move after move. In the same way NFL too. Like NFL, like I feel like nobody is safe. Nobody's untouchable. Nobody. Like and not to bring y'all up in a rough way, but a couple years ago, Odell, that's when I really learned that lesson, man.
Oh man.
That's when I learned that lesson, man. Cause I'm like, man, if Odell, who was a year removed from signing his record-breaking deal as a wide receiver, 1 year removed, like this dude just signed a deal a year ago, it's the highest paid receiver ever. I'm like, man, if Odell could get shipped, nobody is safe.
I'll tell you, every Giants fan knows exactly where they were when Odell Beckham got traded. I'll tell you right now, when they saw the news that Odell Beckham traded, they could tell you exactly where they were standing. Because I'll tell you, I was in the middle. I visited Boston. I don't know if it was an anniversary. I'm pretty sure it was an anniversary. So it was me and my girl's anniversary. Yeah. We went out to Boston. I was in the middle of a shopping mall, and I was at I want to say it was Lord and Taylor, but I was just standing down there, and I looked at my phone. Odell Beckham has been traded for a draft pick, not even a first rounder, like a third or fourth round pick, and I can't think of the dude's name now. The safety.
Oh, Jabril Peppers.
Jabril Peppers. I was so mad, bro.
I was shocked.
I was saying, like, I think that year, man, like, they had just traded Olivier Vernon to the Browns too. So I was like, yo, what is going on with them, the Browns, bro? Like, are they trying to stack the Browns or something?
Yeah, well, that was the beginning of them getting stacked. But yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. And now it's looking like he's about to be gone.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I mean, it was even looking like that before, too. I mean, well, now, especially because now they're performing even better while he's injured. So it's not a good look for him. But yeah. I never liked him on that team. I mean, it was cool that he was going back with his boy Jarvis and all, but
yeah,
I think Jarvis is a wide receiver one, and you need to just let Jarvis be Jarvis.
Oh, yeah. Jarvis is nice, man. He is nice. I like him. I remember was a little heartbroken some years ago. It was the year before he got traded to the Browns. The Ravens had actually tried to trade for him, and they were unsuccessful, obviously. Then a year later, he goes to Cleveland. I'm like,
dude, I don't know what it is. There's teams like that where I feel like they're just allergic to getting offensive players. Like the Ravens are one.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know what it is. The Ravens for sure just are allergic because they have people. They had the chance to get all these people, and they just seem like they just don't want them. The Seahawks are another one. Green Bay. Like these teams, they just refuse to get offensive players for their quarterbacks. Man, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know the Ravens. They just focus on defense. It's defense. Then they're like, oh yeah, offense too. Oh yeah, I forgot about those guys. Yeah, let's do a little something for them too. But they are very frugal when it comes to the offense. They always look for bargain deals when it comes to the offense. And you know what's funny is that the way that your team is, it can have you being the same exact way, and you might not even know it. Like with the way that, and I know we obviously don't have any control over our team, but with the way that you look at like free agents or something like that, with the way that your team has been doing it and does it over the years, you can start looking at it like that too. Like I remember I done caught myself a couple times years ago though, think, oh okay, yeah, we can get this guy. They'll be cheap on offense. They'll be a decent player and they're cheap too. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. No, this is what Ravens do. So you get so conditioned as a fan to what your team does that again that can impact your mindset as a fan and what your team should do. But it's all good though, man. But this off season, man, it's the 25th, so we getting there, man. Getting close to the free agency, and of course, like this has been a wild off season that's barely even started. And I know really, especially like over the past couple of days, I know with Ravens, they just it's been crazy. But what do you I know you watch football, and I know you and you that actually surprised me. I was surprised about how into football you were. But what do you do on Sundays now? Well, you work on Sundays, right?
Yeah, so I work like 11 to 5 on Sundays.
Yeah.
So after I get out of work, I'll come home. I tend to actually live stream on Sundays. Like if I can, I'll try to live stream because Alyssa normally works late on Sundays. She'll work till like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So like I'll just live stream while she's working.
Well, speaking of Alyssa, what's next for y'all? What's next for Julian and Alyssa?
Man, honestly, we're trying to grind this channel out. But to be honest with you, I was talking to her, man, because I'm sick of this snow, this cold, bro. Like, we might be out of Connecticut, man, if this whole YouTube stuff takes off, dude. Like, if we could get it to the point where we can at least, like, you know, make a solid, like, living life, you know, that supports us. Like, not crazy, you know, just enough to be like, all right, cool, we can have a house, not struggle, and be able to put food on the table. Yeah, we out. Because it's expensive up here, and it's not good. It's cold all the time. Nah, I'm good.
Hey, you never know, man.
Yeah.
Straight up, you never know, never know. So I just say keep on, keep doing what y'all doing, cause you never know, man. And something that I forgot, I think it was actually my mom that told me this. She said, always put your best foot forward on every video, cause you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. Huh?
I tell you too, I think it's so dope that your mom watches your content and is so involved with your channel. I had no idea. Like when I went down to Baltimore, like that, she was so involved, man. But I think that's so dope.
Really dope, yeah, man. That made a big difference too, man. That makes a huge difference. Because had she not supported it, then because that's your mom, man. That's like your mom, like that's because I see it with Carter, like and I'm like, wow, that is true. Like with being a son, I could if Carter get in trouble with me, I could yell at him, I could reprimand him, I could do whatever. He'll get over it in 5 minutes. It'll be alright. It'll be like, okay, I got in trouble, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. I'll work on that, get better, or whatever. He'll move on quick. If my wife, if she yells at him and she gets in trouble with her, it hits some different, man. Cause that's coming from mommy. Cause I don't want to disappoint mommy, and it's like it'll hurt him deep when he get in trouble from her. So it goes the same way for me. I think with support. If had she not been supportive of the channel, I could have been happy doing the channel or whatever still, but it would have been like, oh, well, what's my mom gonna think about this? Or she not gonna approve of this, or she ain't gonna like this or whatnot, or she not. Just the support from family, period. It just makes a really big difference, man. Mom more than anybody, but
of course.
but it makes a big difference, man. So that's just. But yeah, but back to what she said about just make sure you put your best foot forward for every video, cause you never know who's watching, and that's the truth, man. You really don't. You really don't, cause somebody can find you by accident. And you just never know who, whatever subject it is that you might be talking about or whatnot, and they may be searching their name or it could be anything, man. I know for y'all with the reactions, I know I did see one time where there was a guy who what he got like 1 million subs on YouTube, I think.
That was AK, yeah, the rapper.
So it's like that too. So you just never know. You never know who's watching, man. So just gotta go ahead.
Nah, son, that was dope. When we were sitting at, we were having lunch at one of our pizza places, man, and he commented on the video. I pulled up the phone. I'm like, oh, what's up? It's crazy, man. Like you said, you never know who's watching. And honestly, I didn't expect for him to even like see our videos, you know. But you never know. Anything can happen as soon as you hit upload, man. Literally anything can happen.
That's true, man. That's true. Cause because those people they be well, obviously you got to from experience, but yeah, they be checking to see who what people saying about them and stuff. Like one of the funniest things too that I've seen, because I obviously follow football a lot, but where players they'll like quote tweet something that somebody said about them, but whoever said it about them, they didn't at them, so they didn't even mention them, but the football player will still they'll still quote tweet whatever somebody said. So in order for that football player to find what somebody said about them, they would have to be searching up their own name. So it's almost like these tough, strong, angry football players, but they so sensitive, man. They're very sensitive, man.
It's funny you say that too, because I was watching one of your stories, man. You had like an NFL player on there who was like watching your video.
Oh yeah, Zadarius Smith.
Like, yo, like how did that feel? Like that had to be crazy.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. For that, I know he had pulled up a video where, because he was an old Ravens player, but he's on the Packers now. And in the video, I was talking about what were you talking about? Oh, I was saying, did he just start playing this well because he was coming to the end of his contract and he's getting ready to get paid? And he put that part of the video up, but hopefully he watched the whole thing. I mean, that was a year ago, but in the video I talked about how I don't think that was even the case, because he been showing like spurts of how good he can be to us. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. And yeah, that, like I said, that gave me that reminder right there. Like, okay, like, because these dudes, they watch YouTube too. They got an off season where stuff slows down, even during the season. Like, these dudes, like, YouTube is so big, man. YouTube is a huge platform where everybody's on there for one reason or another. Everybody's on YouTube, man. Whether you watching videos of gaming, whether you watching videos on how to cook something, whether you watching sports, whatever you're doing, it's so many people on YouTube, and there's so many people doing so many different things on there too. And that's why it's just a lot of ways to eat on there, man. And it's room for everybody to eat on there. But
for sure,
because it's such a big platform, and it's so many different things that you could do, man. That's why I know I told you before. I really think if you started a podcast, oh man, I think you should do it all day, man. For real, man.
It's one of those things I'm gonna put that on my eventually list.
Man, tell you, I know you would love it, man. I already know you would love it.
I appreciate
It'd be easy. It'd be easy for you, 'cause I know you like talking. Like, man.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'd go all day, bro.
Yeah. I think you should go for it, man. And it's simple too. Simple stuff. Like, again, shout out to my mom, because if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have been doing this podcast. But and just like, you make an Anchor account in 2 seconds. If I can make an Anchor account, and you can make an Anchor account. So, because I can't even make a thumbnail. So I know you could, you could definitely, it'd be super easy for you. But man, tell you, man, I already know it. I know you would do good, man. Alyssa on there too. Y'all just talking. Even if it's just you, she's a guest star, so she don't get burnt out. See?
Yeah.
Hey. Never know, man.
I appreciate it for sure, man. Listen, I gotta ask you a question that you asked me now. since we're talking about the podcast, what's next for Ingravenvids?
Learn how to use OBS. No, but yeah, I want to just I want to get a little bit more into, or I guess a lot of bit more, because I'm not like into it at all. The artistic part of the channel, the podcast, just doing more visually. That's the best way to put it. Doing more visually on it, because I do want to learn how to. I want to learn how to make thumbnails. I want to learn. I want to learn how to make like the those little things that come up during the video. Just visuals. Just visuals.
Oh yeah, I want to learn that too. Yeah.
I just want to do better with that. And then I mean the program that I use for editing the videos, it has a lot of stuff in there. Some simple stuff, and then some more detailed stuff too. So I dibble and dabble in that. Sometimes I like try something a little bit new in the video or whatever. But that's what I do want to improve on. Just visually taking the videos to the next level. But the biggest thing for me too is the streams, because the streams, I'm still trying to find my niche on it, but I'm just trying to improve the quality of everything, just a little bit more. So that's what I'm trying to do next. That's the next step for me, and just improving the quality overall. So because that can make a big difference. Quality is big. It's very big.
That's what they say. Get better with every video, man.
Yeah. But I think first though, I think it's what you're putting out. I think it's I think the biggest quality, the most important quality first is yourself. Mm-hmm. But the visuals, they definitely a close second. Cause you could have the nicest quality, but if you annoying, then it's like it ain't gonna make a big difference.
Exactly.
So.
But don't be afraid, because some people like that. Like, you may be annoying to me, but somebody else may love you. You know.
That's true. That's true.
It's all perspective. YouTube is a big perspective platform, man. Like I've had, especially with these reactions I've seen, things that I find annoying, like Alyssa will love, and I'm like, you like that? Like, it's weird, man. Like, if we have a video where like something's off, or we react to something, and one of us is like, nah, like we just won't upload it. We won't, because like there's been plenty of times where someone's recommended something and I'm like, that's annoying. There's no way we're putting that up. Or she'll be like, he said that, we can't put that up. Controversial, blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah. Definitely want to stay as clear as you can from all of that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, because I mean, I know there's some people that will log on to YouTube looking to get offended. Mm-hmm. Like looking for something, just they upset and they want to try to upset somebody else. So I mean, but it's part of it though. So it is what it is. Ain't no big deal.
That's the next level of protecting your energy, right?
Exactly, man. For
like,
real.
I don't even want to start anything that I have to stop.
For real. That's what I say. Block and move on. Don't even need to respond to nobody. Just block, move on, keep it moving. Cause
bro,
man, that can be hard though, man.
I'm telling you made that message for me, bro. Cause I'm that dude that I will go back and forth with you all day. I have time. I will sit here. We can talk about it. If you're mad at me, we can definitely talk about it.
Yeah, man.
And we will be on here all day talking about it too. So. That's why I was like, you know what? I gotta stop. Just block and move on, Julie. Block and move on.
It's true, because I done had plenty of time myself too, where I'm like, oh, okay, oh, really? Like, because you get a lot of positive comments, but then you're like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like YouTube Studio sending you that notification on purpose. Like, you get all these positive comments, but then you just be so happening to look down at your phone, and when you get a notification for a negative comment, it's like, oh, Whoa, okay. So you want to respond to it and whatnot, and you just want to let this person know about themselves and whatnot, but I just block and move on. And sometimes you ain't even gotta block it. Sometimes you could delete and move on, but block and move on, cause the energy to just even type a response comment, oh, that can be a lot of energy wasted right there. Oh man.
Bro, you know what? You gotta watch. I don't know if you watched this or not yet, but on Netflix there's a documentary. It's called, I want to say it's called The Social Network.
I started. Why I never finished it yet.
Oh, you never finished it, dude? They talk about how they send notifications to a phone to get your attention and get you to stay on. And like they show people behind who's like pushing the buttons. Like, okay, so we got her on the app with this. Okay, now give her this ad right now, or give her this video now. She'll stay for it. Blah blah blah. And it was crazy. I was like, wow. That
does make sense though, because I mean it's a business, because it happens all the time, to where you talking about something. If you're looking up something on your phone, you can forget about it, because it's gonna pop up. But if you sometimes a lot of times you talking about something. You go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, even on YouTube too. You'll get these ads for whatever it is or whatever it was that you were looking at. And it's like, hold up, how do they know? But so all the business of the phone. The phone it's like a walk-in tracking device. All your info's on there, and yeah, man. So that's how they send you a lot of them ads. So it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So, it is what it is, though. They get you, though. Yeah. The technology ain't no joke.
You know, it's funny. I have customers come in and they ask me, oh, can you get me for those who don't know, I work for a Verizon store now, but they come in, they say, oh, can you get me a phone that, that won't share my information or won't do this, won't do that. I'm like, listen. You walked in here with an iPhone 7. You lost that right a long time ago.
Yeah, man.
Once you went to smartphone, you lost it. That's it.
Cause everything's on there, but it's just so crazy how that works. I gotta, now you make me want to finish that thing now, man. I'm gonna have to finish watching that.
Finish it. It's good.
Yeah, cause at first I thought it was I don't know what I thought it was at first, but it had seemed a little weird at first, because it was like a documentary, but then they had the little acting, and then I guess it was a docudrama, but then I kept watching for a little bit longer. I was like, okay, this is good, man. But it was stuff like, some of the stuff was obvious, but there was some stuff like that I ain't have no idea about. I'm like, oh, okay, it does make sense though. But it's crazy how. Kind of sad too, and we all been guilty of it at one time or another, where we just looking down at our phones.
Yep.
We just sitting there looking down at our phones, man. And I saw something the other day. I forgot where I saw it at on my phone, but it was talking about how smartphones, or maybe they just said cell phones, but. Yeah, whatever it said. It said phones have they really ruined the experience. They ruined the in-person experience, because now, like, well, obviously not now, but before, when you would go to a concert, you there to see whoever the performer is, whoever the artist is, or whatever. You watching the stage and whatever. But now you go and everybody got their phone out. And everybody just recording. They still dancing or whatever, but they recording more than anything.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, wait a minute. And that's like for a lot of events too. You just the phone can make you not enjoy the moment as much as you would have before. Right. And I mean, it's cool to have stuff recorded. You can look back on it. Sometimes it can be a little bit nostalgic or whatnot. So that's straight. But it has definitely taken away a bit. So, but yeah, so that's why I do love when I actually got to do it a little more often. But when we as a family, like we'll be doing something and we just put the phones down.
Yep.
Or put it on airplane mode. Oh man. That is that's one of the best feelings. For me, I
Try that.
yeah. I gotta do it more because I know like my phone literally from morning till night, it goes off all day. With notifications from here about this football stuff, that football stuff. I get stuff from Carter School, text messages, whatever. Like the least thing I get is a phone call or something. But is all day, every day, messages here, updates here. This happened, that happened, that happened, that happened. That's why when I do put it on airplane mode, sometimes I'll be feeling like I'm missing out. Like, man, what's going on? Like, man, am I missing some football news or something? But at the same time, I enjoy it. And it's like, oh. But I want to get to the point where I put that thing on airplane mode and I ain't even think about nothing. That'll be hard, but I would love to get to that point. And I would love to, I'm saying this for a while, I would love to have a vacation. I told my wife this a while ago. I don't know when it's going to happen. But I would love to have a vacation where I ain't checking no YouTube at all. I ain't doing no YouTube at all. Nothing. Because, like, we would go on vacation. And sometimes I would still do videos from wherever we at. And I would still enjoy the vacation. But I'm not 100% there. I'm like 85, 90% there. But not 100% there. Because I'm still checking stuff on the phone, seeing if I'm missing anything, if I need to do a video on this or that, da-da-da-da. Because again, like we talked about earlier, that consistency. When you're consistency, that momentum, you riding that wave, if that stops, yeah, it can get ugly. It can get ugly. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that time. So maybe, I don't know when that's gonna happen.
Schedule button is your best friend, bro.
Huh?
I said the schedule button is your best friend.
Yeah. I would have to find some time in the. I mean, right now is a slow work season. It's not even slow, but it's a slow work season. And just make it happen. And yeah, them schedule uploads. Ooh, I haven't done that in a while. But you know what I just started doing. I only did it a couple of times, but it was really fun. Was the premiere?
Oh yeah, premieres are dope.
Those are cool, man.
Mhm.
I didn't realize how much fun those were, cause it's like, well, y'all all watching together.
Exactly. Yeah. Dope.
Yeah, man. That was pretty cool. I remember when YouTube first rolled that out. That was a while ago. I ain't never messed with it.
Oh yeah.
And I saw it here and there, but I ain't never messed with it. And I was like, okay, I don't know what this is. I'm gonna leave it alone. But yeah.
No, it's good you did that because it had a lot of issues in the beginning. Because I tried it when it first started. It had a lot of glitches, a lot of issues. Videos would have to be re-uploaded. They did a lot to improve it. So
sound like
but
YouTube.
It was bad at first.
Man, I remember when now it's nothing. But I remember when YouTube, remember when they changed the it was for like a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer. But for a while, like when you would be uploading your video, they would have this thing at the bottom that said beta YouTube Studio.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, you don't have to change it now, but if you want to try the beta, hey, you can. It's there. And they would have that and they would send the notifications for it and stuff, and they would always have it at the bottom of the screen. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do this. I don't want to change what's working and da-da-da-da. And I remember I kept getting notifications too. Hey, we're going to be switching to YouTube Studio on such and such date. And I would look at it and I'd be like, whatever. Then once that date came and they switched it over, I was like, what is this? I'm like, man, they messed up my flow. I don't know what to do with this thing. They made it more difficult than it needed to be. I'm like, man, come on, YouTube. What are y'all doing, man? But now it's like second nature. Now it's like, oh, whatever. It ain't nothing. Because you got so used to it. Got so used to it.
I'm that guy that always tries out the betas anyway, because I'm like, I want to see is this going to be trash or not. So I'm always that guy. I had it on, when it first rolled out, because I was like, let me see. Is this going to be good? And then actually, I went into it. There was a lot of features that are missing now. Like playlists. You can't really edit playlists. Well, you can now, but at the beginning you couldn't edit playlists or anything like that. And then there was some other channel settings that you couldn't mess with. But other than that, I was like, okay, that's all right. I guess I can mess with it. And then the whole live stream aspect changed, and I couldn't edit tags anymore. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, they definitely changed it around a bit. And then I remember too, even further back, but we were just talking about this offline with the Google Hangouts. Where how they were sending out the notification like, okay, yeah, because I used to use that for my live streams, and then when I would have people on, I would use it because it was so easy. I'm like, wow, this is so easy. I love it, and it's right to YouTube. I ain't got to go through no outside, no third party apps, or anything. It's straight to YouTube, Google Hangouts. This is what's up. Simple. Then that was another thing. At least YouTube, they'll warn you before they make some crazy change. I still don't be liking the changes, but at least they put you on. They give you the heads up. And with that one, they were letting you know, like, hey, we're going to be, Google Hangouts is going away on this such and such date. And I remember I used it like one last time, and then that was it. They cut it out of YouTube, and I don't think I ever used it again.
I'm going to tell you one change that I think I'm going to try that's actually looking like it's doing really well, but I want to get on this YouTube Shorts wave. I got to figure out what I could do. I want to kind of get on it.
I see those, but I don't know, I can't really think of anything that I would do with them. But I don't know. Do you upload those? Or I don't even know, where they come from, anything. I don't know where. Oh.
So basically, you just make so you record a video under 30 seconds and upload it. And it's automatically a YouTube short.
Oh, see? Learn something new. Because I had no idea how to do that. Now, one thing I do like, too, which it helps just to let people know, and sometimes, and it gives them a reminder, is the YouTube stories. Because I know with those, they stay, Instagram, Snapchat, even Twitter fleets, they stay for 24 hours. But the YouTube stories, they stay for a week. So it could be you letting somebody know about a video you uploaded, you let them know what's going on, but those stay for about a week. And so just in case somebody might have missed a video, you could be informing them of that video in that YouTube story. And if they see it, even if it's a couple days later, it's like, oh, okay, I didn't even know they uploaded that, because sometimes still with the notifications, YouTube, they still got some work to do with those. And you know what's crazy too? They it sucks, but I forgot what I read it a while back that YouTube intentionally doesn't give all of your subscribers the notifications.
Yep.
Even if they haven't turned on.
Yep.
So man, what is that?
Yep.
But
it's crazy. But the cool part about it is they're really I don't want to say really, but they're pretty transparent in the analytics. I went in the analytics and I could see the percentage who have the notification bells on, the percentage who don't. So that way you know what you need to work on. For example, my click-through rate was low. I looked at that. I was like, oh, that's just poor thumbnails. We got to just, get better thumbnails on our videos, and we'll probably be golden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that.
That, shout out to my guy Matt from Slice and Rice. Oh man, he told me about that, because that was something the analytics and stuff. That was something I never looked at, man. Only thing I looked at, okay, how many people were watching, likes, whatever, comments. That's it, just the basic stuff. But the analytics, they give you a much deeper view. They give you the analytics about your channel. They give you the numbers, those detailed numbers, those in-depth numbers. So I appreciated those, man, because I love it because I love and YouTube they'll with that YouTube studio, boy, they will let you know. Like my wife, she made fun of me a couple times when I showed her because I think she saw something like on Instagram or something like that where somebody was talking about it where how YouTube studio they'll give you that message. Oh well, this video is appealing to a smaller audience than usual, or this video is not doing as well as usual, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I remember I showed her that for a video, and she was like, "Oh, that is real." She was laughing and stuff. I'm like, "Oh, don't hurt my feelings, man." But well, no, I do like how they do that because it lets you know, like, okay, well, this video ain't doing so good. And sometimes it just happens that way. Other times it could be something that maybe something's wrong, it's something you did wrong. Or it could be all types of things, man. But
dude, I don't know if you've been in there recently, but they added in like the time of day, like your subscribers are like most active.
Oh no, I have not.
Yeah,
not to that
they
part.
added that, so like you could go in and like if you have TubeBuddy installed, you could actually look and see like the time of day people are most active, but the best time to like upload to like get the video ready for when people are active. So like they'll give you like a slot like 2 hours before, just so you can kind of time it right, so that the video hits their sub box at the right time or their recommended box like literally right at the right time.
Oh, didn't know that. Okay. Well, see, YouTube ain't all bad.
I'm trying to teach myself this stuff more, man, because like you said, consistency is important. But in the beginning, I didn't know anything about any of these analytics, so I didn't even know what being consistent meant. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like what it meant for my channel.
That's true, and it goes a long, 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 long way. Long way. So, but all right, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. So again, let everybody know where to find you, your channel, your Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want them to find you on. Man,
I mean, any platform I'm on, just search JadaKid8. I'm probably on there. But as for YouTube, I haven't been on that channel as much, so just go to Alyssa and Julian. Definitely hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 1K. We appreciate you guys. And I appreciate you, Ingraven, for having me on this podcast, man. It means a lot.
No, ain't nothing.
Definitely was a great time, man.
Ain't nothing. I mean, by the time this podcast comes out on Wednesday, next Wednesday, y'all will probably be at 1,000 subscribers by then. So
we're gonna be celebrating.
Yeah, it'll be like a little celebratory podcast. You can look back like, hold up, just not even a week ago, we wasn't at 1K. Cause that's cool right there. I remember that when you first get that K sign. Instead of 100 this or 200 that or 900 this, when that K is there, it's like, whoa, hold up, man. Like 1,000 people.
I'll say this and I'll let you go, but it's funny that, like, you said last, like 2-3 weeks ago, when you made your second channel, it was like, okay, yeah, this wasn't an accident. Like, I know I could do this. Like, I'm kind of hitting that feeling now, where it's like, okay, success wasn't an accident. Like I know what I'm doing. I actually kind of have an idea of what's going on here. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm glad y'all hitting that stride, man. So now it's
Appreciate it, bro.
Oh yeah, ain't nothing, man. Just gotta keep it going now, man. And that's that. So all right, team, keep it clean. Appreciate y'all listening to this episode of the podcast. Again, make sure y'all stay positive. Check on people. Tell them you love them. Tell them you're thinking about them. And like my guys say, keep chasing your dreams too. So on that note, we out.